Tesla began as a symbol of innovation so powerful that it felt almost untouchable. When you thought of electric cars, you pictured that sleek T logo and the daring ideas behind it. From revolutionizing battery range to building a futuristic brand cult, Tesla seemed destined to remain on top forever. Yet in recent times, the entire EV landscape has taken a shocking turn. Once dismissed competitors are now dominating global sales. Influential figures are distracted. Tesla's stock value has seesawed, and its market share is slipping in ways few predicted. Even the most die-hard supporters are beginning to ask, is Tesla's era of unrivaled dominance coming to an end? It's a question that invites strong opinions and wild theories. Some insist Tesla will bounce back, unveiling groundbreaking technology and new models that stun the world all over again. Others argue the company has grown too comfortable, missing critical opportunities and letting fresh contenders rise. The truth is more complicated, weaving together corporate leadership, global politics, supply chain crises, and consumer shifting tastes. All these elements have combined to create what could be Tesla's biggest challenge yet. To understand how the mighty could have fallen so fast, and to guess whether Tesla can still stage a comeback, you have to look at every piece of the puzzle. From the earliest cracks in the brand's facade to the fearless strategies of upstart EV makers, each factor reveals a larger story about technology, risk-taking, and how quickly fortunes can change in the modern automotive world. Buckle up, because what unfolds here might change everything you thought you knew about the future of electric cars. But this isn't just about Tesla, it's about a massive realignment that could decide which brands and even which countries dominate the EV revolution. Is this a brief slump for Tesla or the start of a much larger collapse? And who's gonna fill that power vacuum if it can't recover? As new players step onto the stage, Tesla's journey takes unexpected twists at every corner. This is where the story really begins. Not long ago, the thought of a fully electric vehicle that looked and drove like a sports car was pure fantasy. Most EVs were cramped, sluggish, and laughable to mainstream buyers. Then Tesla showed up, introducing models with breathtaking acceleration and an almost futuristic design language. Suddenly, the world realized an electric car could be sexy, fast, and practical all at once. Even the iconic Model S, debuting over a decade ago, still looks modern compared to many newer cars on the road. From there, Tesla soared. Backed by vocal fans and an enthralled media, it became a phenomenon that transcended the automotive world. Every press conference and tweet from Elon Musk attracted headlines. Tesla wasn't just a car company, it felt like a cultural movement. Early adopters proudly wore Tesla merch, championing the idea that the future was electric and that Tesla was blazing the trail. If other manufacturers wanted to compete, they'd have to leapfrog a company that seemed to be inventing the rules as it went along. Crucially, Tesla capitalized on the notion of software-driven cars. Over-the-air updates made owners feel as if they were always getting the latest features without stepping foot into a dealership. It was a revolutionary concept that extended the brand's edge. In an industry traditionally slow to change, Tesla was nimble and forward-thinking. Buyers loved that. Investors loved it even more. Before anyone fully realized what was happening, Tesla's market cap dwarfed established giants like GM and Ford, despite producing a fraction of the vehicles those companies sold annually. This unstoppable trajectory had Elon Musk at its heart. His visionary style, willingness to take bold risks, and knack for publicity gave Tesla an aura of fearless innovation. People lined up for hours to reserve cars that didn't even exist yet, trusting in Musk's promise of something extraordinary. Meanwhile, other automakers scrambled, trying to decode Tesla's secret sauce. For a time, it really did appear that Tesla had discovered a formula nobody else could replicate. But success can be a tricky thing. If you grow too quickly or fail to adjust in time, even a leading edge can become a liability. With accolades piling up and fans proclaiming they'd never buy any other brand, Tesla was the talk of the town. Yet hidden just beneath that glittering exterior, the first cracks were already starting to form, waiting for the right moment to break through. For all its glamour, Tesla faced production nightmares from almost the very beginning. Talk to early Model 3 buyers, and you'll hear stories about agonizing delivery delays, misaligned panels, or technology hiccups that required repeated service visits. Musk himself joked about production hell, a lighthearted spin on issues that signaled more serious underlying problems. While Tesla was wowing consumers with blazing 0 to 60 times and a robust supercharger network, it struggled behind the scenes to ramp up manufacturing efficiently. Traditional automakers had spent decades refining assembly processes, says, building relationships with suppliers, and smoothing out workflow. Tesla, in its pioneering race, sometimes overlooked the mundane but critical aspects of mass production. When demand exploded, the company often found itself racing to catch up. Quality control, too, began to slip beneath the halo. Tesla forums and social media lit up with complaints ranging from minor annoyances, like squeaky interiors, to major concerns like sudden software crashes. Because everything from acceleration to climate control hinged on software, any glitch felt more alarming than a typical mechanical quirk. Early adopters might have forgiven these oversights as the price of supporting innovation, but as Tesla grew, so did expectations. Mainstream customers demanded consistent reliability, which the company wasn't always delivering. Perhaps the biggest sign of complacency was Tesla's reluctance to overhaul its aging models in a timely manner. The Model S, while iconic, went for years without a significant redesign. Rivals introduced fresh faces, new interiors, and cutting-edge features, giving them a chance to woo buyers who wanted the latest in style and convenience. Meanwhile, Tesla stuck to minor tweaks. This static approach led some fans to wonder, if Tesla is the world's most advanced automaker, why do their cars look the same year after year? The slow pace of meaningful model updates was an odd move for a brand built on the promise of relentless innovation, yet the true wake-up call came when competition from all directions turned fierce. Before Tesla realized it, rival automakers were launching their own electric sedans and SUVs. This could have been Tesla's moment to step up its game, but internal missteps, supply chain hiccups, and uncertain leadership decisions put them on the defensive. And amidst this turbulence, a dark horse brand emerged from China, prepared to rewrite the EV hierarchy. But the biggest blow, some might say, didn't come from some age-old automaker. It was an underdog that roared onto the scene, and that's where the next twist in Tesla's story begins. Not too long ago, few outside of Asia gave serious thought to BYD. Its name rarely turned heads in Western markets. Many dismissed its vehicles as cheaply made or technologically behind. Elon Musk himself once brushed off BYD in an interview, suggesting they were no competition at all. But that underestimation proved a colossal mistake. Today, BYD holds the crown as the top-selling EV brand worldwide, dethroning Tesla in quarterly sales. This isn't some fluke or one-time anomaly. It's the direct result of meticulous planning, a massive manufacturing ecosystem, and unwavering government support. While Tesla was targeting premium segments with futuristic features and higher price tags, BYD focused on volume, affordability, and relentless efficiency. Their strategy was simple: become the go-to name for practical electric mobility in China, and then spread outward to conquer global markets. One key advantage is BYD's vertical integration in battery production. They manufacture their own batteries, slashing costs and reducing dependency on third parties. Tesla, in contrast, still relies significantly on suppliers like Panasonic and CATL for its cells, leaving it more exposed to price fluctuations and shortages. In a market where controlling battery supply is crucial, BYD gained a decisive edge by producing powertrains in-house. Government policy further supercharged BYD's rise. China has been aggressively pushing for widespread EV adoption through subsidies, tax breaks, and infrastructure projects. This gave local brands like BYD a massive head start. Backed by robust domestic demand, the company rapidly scaled production, refining its processes and boosting quality along the way. Gradually, BYD shifted from making primarily small, no-frills electric cars to developing sophisticated models that hold their own against international competition. Now, BYD is going global. It's selling in Europe, expanding in parts of Asia, and even eyeing regions like South America, markets where Tesla has only a modest presence. The brand's mix of competitive pricing, solid technology, and brand new designs resonates with buyers who want an EV but don't necessarily want to pay a premium for the Tesla badge. For Tesla, watching BYD ascend has been a rude awakening. No longer can Tesla rely on brand mystique alone to corner the electric market. And as if that wasn't enough pressure, Tesla made another move that both boosted short-term sales and compromised its long-term stability, initiating a full-scale pricing war. With whispers of BYD's overtaking and mainstream automakers accelerating their EV rollout, Tesla tried to regain ground by slashing prices. At a glance, it sounded like a brilliant stroke: make the Model 3 and Model Y cheaper, reel in those who were on the fence, and solidify Tesla's hold on the market. For a few months, it seemed to work. Orders spiked, headlines teased a Tesla comeback, but the initial optimism quickly wore off when deeper issues rose to the surface. For one, Tesla's premium aura took a significant hit. People had grown used to associating Teslas with futuristic luxury and a higher price tag. Suddenly, long-standing customers who paid full price felt cheated, seeing newer buyers snag essentially the same car for substantially less. Social media lit up with angry posts from Tesla owners who felt the rug had been pulled out from under them. Worse yet, the pricing gambit triggered a counterattack. Big players like Volkswagen, Ford, Hyundai, and of course BYD adjusted their EV prices too. Instead of giving Tesla a decisive advantage, these cuts merely dragged the entire industry into a battleground of thin margins. If a competitor matches Tesla's price, the uniqueness of that discount evaporates, leaving Tesla with reduced profit margins and no standout selling point. The turbulence also rattled investors. Tesla had built a reputation for robust profits and impressive margin control, especially compared to other EV startups. By aggressively cutting prices, Tesla sent a message to the market that it might be feeling pressure or even desperation. Wall Street analysts started questioning whether the company's golden era of high profitability was over. As a result, Tesla's stock fell, reinforcing the perception that the brand was scrambling to hold on to its crown. Moreover, raising prices back up later is never easy. Once customers taste lower pricing, it becomes far trickier to convince them to pay more again, especially when equally appealing options exist from other automakers. So Tesla found itself trapped. Continuing price cuts threatened long-term margins, but reversing them risked driving away customers who had gotten used to the discounts. Yet this pricing war was only part of the bigger storm Tesla faced. Even as it juggled brand perception and investor uncertainty, its production strategy, once considered revolutionary, was imploding under the weight of global supply chain disruptions. When Tesla introduced the concept of gigafactories, it promised unprecedented control over battery production, economies of scale, and streamlined logistics. These vast facilities in places like Nevada, Shanghai, and Berlin were supposed to be unstoppable hubs, churning out cars at lightning speed. Yet reality played out far differently. While vertical integration can be an advantage, it also concentrates risk. If a gigafactory struggles with local restrictions, labor issues, or component shortages, the entire network feels the impact. The Shanghai plant, for instance, became a critical linchpin in Tesla's global output, but evolving policies and potential trade tensions sparked worries that Tesla's reliance on Chinese manufacturing and components might backfire. Simultaneously, raw material shortages rattled the industry, driving up the cost of essentials like lithium and nickel. Competitors who diversified their sourcing were better able to absorb shocks, but Tesla invested heavily in specific battery chemistries, found it more challenging to pivot quickly. The brand's once celebrated battery expertise now seemed precariously anchored to market volatility. Then came the semiconductor crisis. As global demand for chips soared, sectors from smartphones to gaming consoles vied for the same precious resources. Automakers like Tesla, reliant on advanced chips for self-driving and software features, found themselves in fierce competition for these components. Deliveries slowed, production lines paused, and cars shipped missing certain functionalities. Some owners noticed missing USB ports, others encountered software hiccups or lengthy wait times for repairs. Another overlooked vulnerability was shipping logistics. Tesla's global strategy depended on easily moving vehicles and components across borders. With rising geopolitical tensions and lingering port backlogs, once smooth pathways jammed up. Competitors with more localized production or flexible supplier relationships had an easier time adapting. All these supply chain woes hammered Tesla's ability to sustain consistent momentum just when the market was the most competitive it had ever been. And as the brand struggled to keep up with demand, an even more frustrating reality set in. Tesla's once vaunted tech lead was no longer guaranteed. During Tesla's early years, it wasn't just about battery range. The company touted advanced software, over-the-air updates, and a vision for full self-driving that seemed to outclass everyone else by miles. That promise of near-autonomous driving enticed many customers, who often paid extra up front, confident that Tesla would flip a software switch and deliver a magical no-driver-needed experience. But real-world data painted a more complicated picture. Tesla's full self-driving feature has lingered in a sort of perpetual beta, with owners encountering unpredictable braking, lane confusion, and limitations that undercut Musk's bold claims. Meanwhile, other companies quietly pushed forward. Alphabet's Waymo, GM's Cruise, and certain Chinese startups successfully rolled out fleets of robo-taxis in controlled environments, demonstrating an actual level of autonomy beyond what Tesla was offering. Software consistency also became a sore spot. Tesla's touchscreen interface wowed drivers at first, but recurring glitches, from freezing to blank screens, grew more common as Tesla expanded production. Over-the-air updates sometimes fixed issues, but they could also introduce new bugs. Owners reported quirks ranging from random cabin temperature resets to unexpected beeps and warnings that required system restarts. In an age when everyone from phone makers to TV manufacturers updates devices seamlessly, Tesla's brand of innovation started feeling a bit less polished. Battery tech is another realm where competition caught up. Tesla introduced the world to the idea of driving hundreds of miles on a single charge, spurring other manufacturers to chase that benchmark. Today, companies like CATL and BYD are developing energy-dense, cost-effective batteries that rival or outdo Tesla's offerings in many ways, particularly affordability. Solid-state battery research, advanced chemistries, and fast-charging solutions are emerging from all corners of the globe, making Tesla's edge less pronounced. None of this means Tesla has no technological prowess left. The brand still invests heavily in R&D and has a robust network of superchargers. But being at the forefront was a big part of Tesla's allure. If that mystique diminishes, the brand might become just another car company, an outcome Elon Musk was determined to avoid. Yet, for all of Tesla's corporate challenges, Musk's personal distractions have arguably been just as damaging. When Elon Musk took over Twitter for a jaw-dropping $44 billion, reactions ranged from excitement to outright panic. Suddenly, the man at the heart of Tesla's identity was devoting huge chunks of his time and energy to reshaping a social media platform. This shift in focus unsettled Tesla employees, who had already seen Musk's erratic, fast-paced leadership style. Now, they worried he was spread too thin. Meanwhile, Tesla investors became jittery. Musk's high-profile controversies, abrupt firing sprees, and politically charged tweets left many questioning whether the Tesla brand might suffer by association. The more time Musk spent defending or altering Twitter, the less he seemed to prioritize supply chain fixes, new model launches, or quality control at Tesla. Articles began surfacing, alleging that high-level Tesla staff had trouble getting decisions from Musk because he was embroiled in Twitter's internal battles. Beyond operational concerns, the brand's image took a hit. Tesla had courted a wide demographic of eco-conscious buyers and tech enthusiasts, but Twitter's chaotic changes and polarizing policy decisions created a wave of negative publicity for Musk, driving some potential Tesla customers to rethink their purchase. Loyalists might still love the cars, but the swirl of controversies left a stain that was difficult to ignore. Internally, morale faltered. Tesla employees, especially those working on critical engineering and software tasks, felt overshadowed by Musk's fixation on Twitter. Communication lines blurred. Rumors emerged about key deadlines being pushed or missed because executive oversight was lacking. While Musk has always juggled multiple ventures, from SpaceX to The Boring Company, his Twitter deep dive was a different level of distraction, one that seemed to overshadow Tesla's immediate priorities. If anything, Musk's Twitter foray underscored how risky it is to hinge a company's identity on a single individual. Tesla's brand was Elon Musk, and Elon Musk was Tesla. But if Musk's public persona falters or shifts focus elsewhere, Tesla inevitably feels the reverberations. And at a time when new EV players are vying for global market share, those reverberations can be devastating. Competition used to mean other EV startups chasing Tesla's shadow or legacy automakers dabbling in half-hearted electric projects. Not anymore. Brands like Ford, Volkswagen, and Hyundai have rolled out dedicated EV platforms that are capturing rave reviews. Their vehicles boast impressive range, advanced safety features, and refined interiors, all at competitive prices. Suddenly, you can buy a Ford Mustang Mach-E that feels fresh, loaded with tech, and backed by a vast service network. And that's just one example. The powerhouse known as Volkswagen committed billions of dollars toward electrification, crafting entire families of EVs like the ID series. Their strategy combines large-scale manufacturing expertise with a broader brand portfolio, Audi, Porsche, Skoda, to flood global markets with EV options, from premium to affordable. Where Tesla was once unique in offering software updates, Volkswagen is rolling them out across multiple brands, quickly eliminating that advantage. Hyundai and Kia too have impressively stepped stepped up. Their Ioniq and EV series earned praise for slick designs, roomy interiors, and user-friendly tech, even winning prestigious automotive awards. These models often come with price tags that meet or undercut Tesla's, plus perks like robust warranties and easy access service centers. For many consumers new to EVs, going with a familiar name like Hyundai can feel more comfortable than jumping into a Tesla. Equally important are startups that identified specific niches. Rivian introduced rugged electric pickups and SUVs that appealed to outdoor enthusiasts. The kind of vehicle Tesla promised with its Cybertruck but hasn't yet delivered. Lucid targeted the premium sedan space, unleashing a sleek, ultra-luxury car that competes head-on with Tesla's Model S. Fisker innovated with eco-friendly materials and a unique business model. Each brand fills a gap in the EV market that Tesla either neglected or delayed. This surge of quality alternatives means the buyer's mindset has shifted. Where Tesla once stood almost alone, potential EV customers can now easily consider half a dozen other brands that meet or exceed Tesla's offerings. As more automakers refine their electrification strategies, Tesla's slice of the pie inevitably shrinks unless it finds new ways to stand out. Yet the rise of these rivals is intertwined with a much larger story playing out on the global stage, a story where entire nations are battling for EV supremacy. The tectonic shift toward electric vehicles isn't just corporate, it's geopolitical. China, the world's largest auto market, has thrown its weight behind electrification for years. Generous subsidies, massive battery production, and robust infrastructure have positioned Chinese automakers like BYD, NIO, and XPeng as formidable global competitors. The government's support ensures they can scale fast and sell EVs at lower prices than many Western brands can match. In Europe, tight emission regulations and outright bans on new gas-powered cars in the coming years have accelerated the push toward full electrification. Companies like Volkswagen, BMW, and Mercedes-Benz, once slow to adapt, are now pivoting entire product lines to electric. Charging stations are proliferating, and consumer adoption rates are climbing, especially in countries like Norway, Germany, and the Netherlands. If Tesla wants to dominate Europe, it must match a flood of local E models designed to meet European tastes and regulations. The United States, for its part, has seen shifting policies and incentives that sometimes helped Tesla, but didn't always guarantee a commanding lead. States like California are planning to ban new gasoline car sales within the next decade, propelling a wave of EV interest. Traditional American giants like GM and Ford have leveraged their home field advantage, rallying government support and forging partnerships that boost their EV offerings. All this jockeying for position means that EV leadership might be as much about strategic partnerships and national policy as it is about engineering brilliance. Countries realize that dominating EV technology means controlling a major slice of the future economy. Not just car sales, but battery supply, charging networks, and software ecosystems. In this grand contest, Tesla is competing not just against individual companies, but also against entire governmental systems that may favor homegrown brands. It's a high-stakes scenario, and nobody can rest easy. Innovation is barreling forward, consumer behavior is shifting in unpredictable ways, and behind the headline figures, a key question remains: how does Tesla adapt to stay relevant in this evolving ecosystem? Few would argue that Tesla has done anything less than transform the automotive world. Without its initial spark, it's unlikely that EVs would have spread so rapidly. But now, the question is whether Tesla can maintain or renew that transformative energy. The company stands at a crossroads, teetering between a future as an enduring trailblazer and the grim possibility of becoming just one more automaker vying for attention. To emerge victorious, Tesla needs fresh models that capture the public's imagination the way the original Model S did. The slow drip of information about the Cybertruck and next-gen Roadster has kept some enthusiasts intrigued, but the repeated delays have tested everyone's patience. Meanwhile, countless other electric trucks and high-performance EVs are making real-world debuts. Tesla must either launch these projects soon or risk further erosion of its reputation for being at the cutting edge. Diversifying production and supply chains is another must. Over-reliance on any single region or gigafactory can become a crippling weakness if political tensions flare or local issues disrupt output. Tesla could consider broadening its manufacturing to other continents more aggressively, forging partnerships to buffer against raw material shortages and shipping bottlenecks. Regaining consumer trust may be the biggest hurdle hurdle. The brand image took a hit from abrupt price changes, quality complaints, and leadership controversies. Transparent communication, improved service experiences, and consistent delivery of promised features could help rebuild goodwill. Tesla also needs to clarify its autonomous driving roadmap. Setting more realistic expectations might salvage the brand's credibility, rather than continually promising a near-future breakthrough that never quite arrives. Finally, leadership must refocus. Musk's creative genius propelled Tesla to stratospheric heights, but the company also needs a stable executive structure that keeps the wheels turning smoothly. A balanced approach could free Musk to innovate while allowing Tesla's broader team to handle day-to-day operations with minimal chaos. If Tesla can strike that balance, it has the resources and momentum to bounce back stronger than ever. But if it fails to adapt, the wave of competition might just leave it behind. The journey of Tesla from scrappy disruptor to global icon seemed unstoppable, and yet here we are, watching the brand face its hardest battle to date. Once enthroned as the king of EVs, Tesla is now scrambling to hold its ground against a barrage of rivals. From massive legacy automakers to agile startups, and above all, well-organized Chinese competitors like BYD. Rising production costs, geopolitical tensions, and shifting consumer demands have all converged to challenge the legacy Tesla works so hard to build. Some believe this is just an awkward growth phase, a temporary slump before Tesla unveils something so innovative it flips the script yet again. Others argue Tesla's unique advantages have all but vanished, leaving it vulnerable to more diversified and well-funded automakers. In a realm where technology evolves at breakneck speed, no company can survive on hype and past victories alone. One thing is clear, the electric revolution has only begun. We're not just witnessing one brand's ups and downs, we're witnessing an entire industry in metamorphosis. The question is whether Tesla will reclaim its spark and stay at the forefront, or if it will drift into the background as just another EV contender. In the end, consumers benefit most from the heightened competition, with more options and better pricing than ever before. The road ahead teems with tough decisions, high-stakes gambles, and unpredictable turns. Tesla may still pull off another reinvention, or it may watch newer powerhouses take the spotlight. The EV race is wide open, and the next few years will show us whether Tesla can truly evolve, or if its best days are behind it. So what do you think? Can Tesla mount a triumphant comeback, or has its empire already been eclipsed? The debate rages on, and the future of electric mobility hangs in the balance.